We've come to Walsingham. It's a small village, but it's one of Norfolk's most special places. We're going to find out what happened here and what happens here nowadays. In 1061, so the story goes, a woman called Richeldis had a series of visions, and they were of the Blessed Virgin Mary. She was shown the Holy House in Nazareth, where the Annunciation happened. Richeldis was asked to rebuild the Holy House here at Walsingham so that people could come and visit it and venerate the Blessed Virgin Mary. In the 12th century, a great Augustinian priory grew up here. The archway behind me is the former east window of the priory church. This was the time of the Crusades, and people couldn't travel to the Holy Land, so they came here instead. Walsingham became one of the great pilgrimage centres of the Middle Ages, and the statue of Our Lady of Walsingham was venerated by people who travelled from all over Europe. Pilgrimages to Walsingham were popular well into the 16th century, and we know that Henry VIII himself came here. But the Reformation was approaching. In 1536, the Priory accepted the primacy of Henry VIII and the new Church of England, but it didn't save them. In 1538, the Priory was dissolved and the shrine of Our Lady of Walsingham was destroyed. The statue was taken to London to be burned, although intriguingly, there is a school of thought that says the Langham Madonna in the Victoria and Albert Museum may well be the statue of Our Lady of Walsingham. And that could have been the end of the story. We've come about a mile outside of Walsingham to a little village called Houghton St Giles, and the building behind me is popularly known as the Slipper Chapel. It's a 14th century wayside chapel that pilgrims on their way to Walsingham would have stopped at. In the years after the destruction of the Walsingham Shrine, this chapel was used as a barn. But in 1896 it was bought by a woman called Charlotte Boyd. She was a recent convert to Catholicism, and in gratitude she gave the chapel to the Diocese of Northampton, in which Norfolk was at that time. Now, not far from here at King's Lynn, there was a very enthusiastic parish priest who'd established a shrine of Our Lady of Walsingham in his church there, and he took the opportunity to bring a statue here to the Slipper Chapel to re-establish a shrine of Our Lady of Walsingham in its proper place. And here we are inside the Slipper Chapel, and this is the re-established Catholic shrine of Our Lady of Walsingham. Very quickly, pilgrimages to this place became popular. At that time, the railway ran up beside the site and trains brought pilgrims up from London. In the 1980s, this large pilgrim church was built behind me, and on a summer's day, you'll find hundreds of pilgrims at this site. But it wasn't only the Catholics who were interested in restoring the shrine of Our Lady of Walsingham. This is the Anglican parish church of Little Walsingham. It was destroyed by fire in 1961 and brilliantly restored by Lawrence King. In 1921, a young man called Alfred Hope Patton became the vicar here, and one of his first acts was to put a statue of Our Lady of Walsingham inside the church. The Bishop of Norwich was appalled and told him to remove it, which he did in spectacular style. They processed with it to a new site, and over it was re-established the shrine of Our Lady of Walsingham. And this is the Anglican shrine of Our Lady of Walsingham, established by Alfred Hope Patton just over 100 years ago. The Anglican shrine, as we see it today, has been gradually built up over the last 100 years, and it's now quite a large church. Inside, though, there's the original shrine that Alfred Hope Patton established in 1922, a replica of the Holy House of Nazareth. As well as an Anglican parish church, Little Walsingham has a Catholic parish church, and it's behind me. It's Norfolk's newest round tower, to the design of Anthony Rossi in 2006. And as well as the Catholic and Anglican shrines, there's an Orthodox shrine, and it's here in the old railway station. The Anglican shrine and the ruins of Walsingham Priory are in the village of Little Walsingham. But to get a real flavour of what this area was like in the Middle Ages, we've come to Great Walsingham and its parish church. Great Walsingham Church has got one of the largest collections of medieval benches in the whole of Norfolk, and on their bench ends, figures of mythical creatures and saints. It's extraordinary to think that these benches would have been sat on by those medieval pilgrims on their way to Walsingham, who'd arrived at the Norfolk ports of Cley and Blakeney before walking across the fields to here. The river Stiffkey flows through the priory grounds on its way to the sea, and thousands of people every year still come to Walsingham. Last year, the Anglican shrine celebrated its centenary, and people have been coming here for 1,000 years now. So the story continues.